Hello everyone, this is Jalapeno and welcome to the next episode of the Eaveecraft Business Let's Play series. In today's episode, we're going to be doing a few different things. We're not going to be building any new machines today. We're going to be doing a bit of adventuring, and I'm also going to explain to you a little bit about the Eaveecraft economy and how to start making money and things like that. Now, on a vanilla server, you may or may not have money be used to things like chest shop or just selling directly to other players, maybe making some money when you kill creatures. There's a variety of different things. What we do is a little bit different. First off, we actually have companies. We have a plugin that's been designed specifically for this server called Businesscraft, which you can see by typing help business craft. And there's a few different options here. Now, what separates this from other plugins is you actually are part of a business. So there's company stocks, there are dividends paid out. You can actually own shares in other people's companies and basically make money when they make money. Um, it gets pretty elaborate, and now that we're in 1.6, I do plan on expanding it even further. I'm not going to get into it too much, but I will teach you some of the basics today. First off, the easiest way to make money if you're just starting out is auctions. You can access auctions by typing /AUC and then a question mark to see all the different things you can do. Now, you can pretty much auction off anything you want, whether it be cobblestone or dirt or diamonds or any machines that you actually happen to create. Now, people aren't necessarily going to be buying cobblestone and dirt from you, but you might have something that they actually are looking for. So, in this case, we are going to try selling some diamonds. So we'll take the 5 diamonds that we have here, and now to sell them, you basically hold them in your hand and you type /awk space hand, and then the starting amount, the minimum amount that you want for these diamonds. So in this case, I'm going to put 150. And now you will see that I'm actually auctioning 5 diamonds for $150. And if we're lucky, someone will bid on them, and then hopefully we'll be able to get even much more money than that. While that goes on, another option is actually voting. If you go to eaveecraft.com, you can basically vote on 5 or 6 different sites. Every vote that you do earns you $250, a boatload of experience, and a handful of diamonds. If you're looking at getting started really quickly, voting on a daily basis on all the sites is probably the easiest and fastest way to do it. Now, while that auction's still going, no one has bid on it yet, but that's because everyone is just starting out right now. Not everyone has a lot of money. If we type /Baltop, that is how we actually see who's got the most money. And right now, our highest people on the server only have $1,000. So I'm asking for 10% of their money right now. People just don't have it. Another thing you can do is create a business, but that requires at least a minimum of $1,000. So what we're going to try tonight is we're going to actually try to join a business in case some people have actually started them up. To do that, you type /find company, and it will basically announce to everyone on the server that you're looking for employment. We do have a few companies that are set up. I'm actually not sure who's on right now. Alright, I've received an invite from one of the mods actually. So I'll type accept invite. And I have now successfully joined Madco. Now what joining a company does, it gives you a nice little perk that you can now sell directly to the server. You don't make as much money if you were selling to players, but if you have a lot of something that you want to sell, then you can make some good money from it. Now, what we're going to do now that we've joined a company, is create what's called a sell chest. And in order to make a sell chest, we need a vanilla chest, which we have here already. I am actually going to move it. there, and we also need a sign. And the sign is created with a stick and some wood planks of any type of wood. So now you right click the sign, so it's above the chest on a wall, and you type in left bracket, cell, chest, right bracket. And if you do it right, it'll show up in green and say ready. So now you're actually ready to sell. Now to sell, the things you can sell are effectively any type of, you can sell cobblestone, you can sell dirt, you can sell any precious metal, so copper, tin, iron, in ingot form only. And then you can also sell a lot of packaged stuff. So, for example, if you decide to be a farmer, you can actually create a large number of types of food in order to make money. You also can stuff or create them in forestry, and there's various different items. So anything here that's listed as created is actually capable of being sold. So we could create charcoal, ash. Once we start having bees, we can sell the beeswax and the honey, anything like that. We can sell rubber. The prices are not astronomically great, but as we build up our automation and we actually get a much larger plant, it's actually a nice solid way to make consistent income. So just to show this off, I'm going to sell some cobblestone. Now cobblestone makes very little money, so don't expect to get rich selling this stuff. But all you do is you basically put all the items you want to sell in the chest. If you happen to put something in this chest that isn't sellable, it's not a big deal. The plugin will just skip over it. But anything you put in here, if it's sellable, will be sold. So don't be putting iron and diamonds and things like that in here if you don't actually want to sell them to the server. So now that we've put our cobble in the chest, all you do is right click on the sign, and it says chest contents have been sold on behalf of your company. Now what will happen is in a little while I'll actually be paid by the company. It's only going to be a portion of what the cobblestone's full value. So basically, say if cobblestone was worth $10, the company might take $2 of that, and I get paid the other $8 minus some. There's some taxes and fees that are attached to it too. All those sorts of things, though, are reducible as you level up your player. Although that feature is not in the game yet, but once I have it in, I will explain that as well. So you will notice that my diamonds did not sell earlier, so I'm actually going to try just selling one, just to show you how this works. And we'll say sell it for a minimum of $25. Now a diamond will sell in a sell chest for $25, so I obviously want to sell it for a minimum that. The auction's not going to start right away because Mad Beggar, who apparently is now my employer, is selling something else right now, so we have to wait for his auction to end before ours will show up. Alright, so now you see that I've actually just earned $1.51 from my company. That was for four full stacks of cobblestone. So obviously I am not going to make it rich selling cobblestone, but if you need cash, the sell chest is an easy way to do it. Obviously selling things like iron or diamonds or gold will make you a heck of a lot more money than cobblestone does, but if you happen to have an excess of cobblestone, you'll have it. You will also notice I have built a little bit of a foundation around my claim. This is simply because other players are beginning to show up, and I'm basically just trying to segment off my area so that hopefully we don't start fighting over claims. It's not going to be a big deal. I could have this entire area surrounded by players. Once we get a little further into the game, it's not even going to matter to us, because at that point we're actually going to be creating our own little pocket dimension and moving there. So still unable to sell any diamonds, but that's not a big deal. Diamonds are actually relatively easy for people to get just by voting, so unless I'm selling them in big chunks or it gets to a point people have more money, we're not going to be able to do much with that. We'll try one more auction while we're here. Let's try selling some redstone. I don't want to sell too much of it because we're actually going to need this. Let's try selling 32 redstone at a starting price of $25. And now while that starts, we're actually going to start getting prepared to go out and adventure. Now I have no armor right now, and my stone sword is nearly dead, so first thing I want to do is improve this stuff a little. So I'm going to make myself an iron sword. I'm also going to make myself iron armor. Gold, obviously, or not gold, sorry, diamond is better. And then, if things are enchanted, or when we get into the more complicated expansions, we can actually create stuff that's tougher than diamond, which will be necessary for some of the harder monsters. But for now, this is better than nothing, and this kind of fits in what we're capable of affording in terms of materials. So we have our armor. Hooray. Now, one thing you can watch out for, you'll notice that some people are selling enchanted armors for relatively low amounts of money. Or in that case, it didn't even sell at all. That's simply because people who are going into some of our dimensions, like Twilight Forest, will find these in chests and they just don't want them, and they'll just sell it for anyone who wants it. So if you watch for potential auctions to buy, you can get some good deals. Now you'll notice someone actually auctioned and purchased my redstone for $25. It was only one person looking to buy it, but that's not too bad for just a handful of redstone. Now, the one thing about this is because I'm in a company, my company actually earns a little bit of cash. So I haven't actually gotten this money yet. I have to wait for the company to pay me. It happens automatically. It just happens once every few minutes. But they will take a small portion of this. Same way if I was doing it in the sell chest. But it's a small price to pay to be able to sell, really large items. Alright, so now that we've done that, we also need a bucket. And the reason for this is because we are going to want some obsidian, because we're going to have to travel to the nether shortly. So we need to get prepared to create our nether portal. We should probably make ourselves another shovel, just to make our life a little easier in terms of digging through gravel and dirt if we happen to come across it. And we want another stone pickaxe. And that really should be it. We've got plenty of torches. I don't think we're going to wind up needing more. We got shovels, we got both an iron and a peridot pickaxe. Both of those are usable for mining anything up to diamond. I'm actually going to make myself a diamond pickaxe because if we need the obsidian, only a diamond pickaxe or something stronger will actually break through it. Now, looking at this, Peridot might actually double as a diamond pickaxe. It might actually be strong enough. We'll have to test that out once we move on. And of course, I didn't actually make the pickaxe. There we go. And that, of course, was just one of my neighbors coming over, I guess, to say hi. Now I have plenty of food as well, so that's not going to be much of an issue. But just as a reminder, if you need more food and you don't want to bother scrounging for it, you can use kit food, and it will give you 16 meat, which will last about an hour or two worth of gameplay a day, depending on exactly what you're doing as far as activities go. Alright, so now I just need to find myself a water source. And also, while we go to get our water source, I'm going to look for some clay there. The clay is not going to be useful for us yet in our adventure, but it's going to be useful in the next episode when we start getting more involved with some more complicated automated machines. Alright. Of course, I picked the direction that is in a non-water area. There we go. That kind of looks like a spot we're going to be able to get some clay too. Now we're not going to need much. One of the next things I'm going to show you in the next episode is basically how to automate clay collection. First we'll scoop up some water. We'll use our shovel. That's not clay. All these holes here, that probably indicates someone else has already been here scooping out all the clay. So I was a little slow on this. Not a big deal. Well, to speed this up, I'm going to use one of our teleportation commands. I'm going to use /random region. This randomly selects a designated area that the server has picked out that might be useful. Now, it can drop you in water in the ocean, so you do have to be kind of careful that you just don't random region and go away, because you could very well find yourself drowning. That might be clay. That is indeed clay. That's perfect. We're not going to need much of this, but might as well grab what we can, because we will actually wind up needing a lot of clay when we start getting into our more advanced power generation systems. But for now, really, all we needed was just 3 clay balls, and every one of these blocks drops about 5 or 6, sometimes a little bit more. Alright, that should be more than enough. That's just over a stack, it looks like. Alright, so now, because we're also in a randomized region, I'm going to take this opportunity to actually look for a cave to put us in. Now, that black pool that the pig is swimming in is oil, which actually is a really nice fuel source. However, oil pools that small typically don't last too long. Over in the distance there, you can see an oil spout, which produces a fair amount of power, but again, oil is a finite resource. So typically, when I get to a point where I start caring about oil, I want to make sure I have a lot of it available to me. Typically, good places to find oil until you can start making your own dimensions are deserts, or desert-style biomes. Basically, they tend to have multiple oil wells, and they tend to run very deep. And of course, I happen to pick the one region that doesn't seem to have any caves. I think I turned off my sound too. We better turn that back up. Because when you're spelunking, when you're basically running through caves, you really need to hear what's going on so you don't get ambushed by something you don't want to be ambushed by. Now, the skeletons with the pumpkins on them, I believe that's actually a feature of Industrialcraft. I'm recording this actually on Halloween, and Industrialcraft has a little Halloween add-on attachment to it that basically modifies the world slightly, just to kind of celebrate the occasion. So I have been completely unsuccessful at finding a cave, which is very unusual. So we'll random regen, go somewhere else, and we're in an ice ocean. And this one looks familiar. This I actually think is the biome we first started out in. But I also remember there being lots of caves on my way to finding my initial building spot. So with any luck, we will find one relatively quickly. Well, someone's been down here, but that does not necessarily mean... Oh, well, he's building here. So we will just... I don't really like going through other people's mines. We're going to try to avoid anything that is relatively close to him, but we will take this opportunity, at least just to get down here, and maybe see if we can find a cave expansion that he hasn't explored yet. Oh, he's gone far. Okay, well, there is some obsidian here, and I'm a fair distance away from where that guy started. I'm sure he created this obsidian, but there's plenty of it here, and there's still more lava. There's probably some actually under this stuff. Of course, whenever I say something's going to be there, it actually winds up not being there, so we'll see what happens. We only need, I think it's 9 pieces, or it's 12. One of the two for building another portal. Might be 8. I don't know. But either way, we are going to get at least 12 pieces. This actually solves one of our bigger issues, because the nether portal is going to be vital for us in getting ready for applied energistics, which is one of those mods that at this point I really want to get done quickly. It'll probably wind up being maybe 2 episodes from now, simply because once you start playing with that, it makes building all these machines a heck of a lot easier. Alright, so so we have our 12 pieces, and that is going to be more than enough for us. I'll just re-obsidian that lava there, just make it safer for the guy if he happens to come back here. We are going to random region again. And find ourselves a cave that hopefully someone else hasn't been in, so we can actually start doing some real digging around. Now, what you see here is basalt. This is something that comes out of Project Red. It's effectively solid lava that's cooled down. And as you can see, there's a volcano there. That's where this basalt is coming from. Volcanoes are actually a very good source of lava if you need it for power generation or really anything else. A lot of people like to actually build within the volcanoes. I'm not too big of a fan of that, but I know a lot of people that do. This is actually rock you won't see in vanilla Minecraft. This is red rock, and it's primarily for decoration. It's got no special benefits. It just looks kind of neat. Endermen are actually going to be useful for me. Him we don't want to fight. He is actually a beefed up mob. And he is going to be a pain in my butt. There's no way I would be able to beat him. Basically, he's got, basically, you probably only saw it for a split second, but when I targeted him, you could actually see a bunch of, at the top of my screen was a list of buffs that he had to basically make him stronger, one of which was regen, which unfortunately with the weapons I have, it means he's healing every time he attacks me, plus he launches fireballs, and he hit me very, very hard, even just the one time, so I don't even know what else he had, but it would have been a bad day. Now those mobs, if you kill them, tend to drop a lot of enchanted gear, so they're worthwhile if you're in a position to be able to fight them. Just teleporting Enderman that can launch fireballs and heal himself, that's just too much for a person in iron armor and a stone sword here. And I'm having no luck with caves. Alright, so what we're going to do, so we stop wasting time here. I know there are caves by my home. So I'm going to head south. You can tell what direction I'm going just by the way I'm facing on the mini-map in the upper right. And there's a cave right there. See how much easier that was? Alright, so hopefully this leads downwards, which it does. And then of course it leads back up. Now this is a cave that I believe I initially started our mod pack in. And I cleaned this out some time ago as well. Alright. It's funny, every time I go mining, I have been finding some expansive cave systems that I haven't really explored too much because I wanted you guys to kind of be there with me when I did it, so you can see all the interesting new features and all that sort of thing. And now it just feels like just having no luck. Here's another cave someone else has been in. It's not a problem. Just hopefully they didn't travel too far. Oh, they've built a house. Let's see how far down this cave goes. So we're not going to find anything of real value because it looks like this place has been relatively well cleaned out. I'm hoping though I can find an expansion to this cave network that the person hasn't completely cleaned out yet. So that is actually someone's protected chest, so we don't need to worry about that. That was iron I picked up in case you didn't see it. All this copper and stuff is actually going to be quite useful for us. Quartz is something that we need a lot of. It's in someone's protected area. Okay. So what you just heard there is one of our feared arrow spawners. I'm not sure where it is, but that's a lot of arrows. Let's see if I can find it so I can show you. There we go, it's above me. Mossy cobblestone is actually going to be quite useful for us too. So now, let's see if I can... Ow. Alright. So as you can see, arrow spawners are really a pain in the butt. They are defeatable though. Just takes a little bit of work. You first gotta figure out where it is. There it is. Then you have to... Oh, it looks like there might have been two of them there. Alright. So that's gone. Look at all those arrows. That's crazy. But we got some nice items. Got some appetite. Not very useful. Steel boots. A little bit. We have a page from Eaveecraft, which is awesome. And we have some iridium, which is actually a really nice find. I'm going to quickly go to my home. I need to empty this stuff out. Iridium, if you're not aware, is effectively one of the end game materials. You can't make it. We actually have it disabled to be made on our server, and you actually need a fair amount of it. But once you basically make the iridium armor, which is it's actually called quantum armor out of this, it's incredibly powerful and gives you all sorts of wonderful benefits and perks. Now the mossy cobblestone I'm going to take because in a future episode when we start working on the mod Tinker's construct, it actually gives a really nice bonus to any items we create. And we effectively need 9 mossy cobblestone per basically gives our tools the ability to auto repair. So if I make myself a really nice pickaxe, diamond pickaxe, or a higher level pickaxe, you know, with lots of nice enchantments on it and stuff like that, I can actually use this for it to actually repair itself, and I won't have to use any diamonds or additional metals or anything like that in an anvil. every piece of this I could find. And it just suddenly dawned on me, you probably can't see most of this. So there we go. At the end of this episode, I'll try to clean it up a little bit if it still seems dark. Ooh, that's a silverfish. Their nests are actually, they look like cobblestone, and one of them is actually not a big deal. It's when you get, it's when there's a lot of nests close together, that's when it starts getting to be a problem, and you wind up with, 7, 8, or 9 of those things on you. So it looks like I've got it all. We're going to collect this iron. Copper we will need more of, but it's not too important for us yet. Right, quartz we need. Well, that's something I haven't seen. This must be something new. Glowstone in the overworld. Well, I am not going to say no to that. That's actually going to save us a lot of trouble. And I think that that ore that I just destroyed, I think that was from Tinker's Construct, and is one of the high-end ores that you can get that make really powerful weapons and tools. But even with a diamond pickaxe, it's not high enough level to actually successfully mine it. So all I effectively did was destroy it. So yay me. All right. But at the end of the day, it will not be a big deal when I get to a point that we're using applied energistics. If we get to some of the end game machines, we'll be able to get all that material that we need at any given point in time. So even if I don't need more obsidian, I typically bring a water bucket with me specifically for what you just saw, just the ability to remove lava when I need to. Alright, now these are actually... Oh, well, I can't move forward simply because I guess I'm above that person's claim that we came across before. But we'll see a spawner here close to the lava. Let's see if we can get rid of that. We can't. It's still with under that person's claim. Alright, so we're going to move over here. Simply because having a spawner that we can't destroy can be really bad for us trying to do this stuff. Alright, well, it's getting almost 40 minutes into the video, and we actually got a lot more than I was expecting out of our little mining endeavor here. I was not aware about the glowstone around the Tinker's Construct gems, or ores I should say, but that's a nice added bonus. So if you don't want to go to the nether to get glowstone at the beginning of the game, that's an easy way to do it. Oh, look at that, there's more. Now, there is lava around here, so I'm going to be careful. I'm not going to bother breaking that ore. It's obviously just a waste to do that, and someone else might be able to benefit from there. I am going to take the glowstone, though. They can find their own. Because this glowstone is, we're going to need a ton of this. But I'm going to end the video here. We've actually gotten far more than what we need. Next episode, we're actually going to travel to the Nether and collect the last components that we require to start working on our next set of building automations. Alright, well, good night, and thanks for watching.